Good morning, everyone. It's a little after 1 o'clock, Friday morning. Got the drag hose wrapped up. We did 1.4 between two different jobs, so we were having a pretty good day until cylinder 2 of the crawler decided to exit the engine through the oil pan. Yeah, hopefully get more video on that, but we have a crawler with a hole in the block in the middle of the lagoon, so that's a daylight issue. Got the air seeder, rushed home to the farm, got the air seeder out of the shed, kicked some tires, spun some wheels, and we are currently heading to a client to try and get some new seeding planted before the rain shows up. I've got our seed tender with me. We'll swing into his farm and grab the seed. We're planting a mixture of pure alfalfa and wholesome peas. Chris is barreling down towards his place now. I've got to make up some time. It took me longer to get this thing hooked up than I originally thought it would. I had to switch a few things with the hitch, but yeah, we'll catch up when we get there. But we're starting planting season in style, like we always do, in the middle of the night, it seems. If it's frost seeding, this is Stone Ridge style right here. Middle of the night after a full day of just having a bad day, so see if we can get something done still. Well, my game plan to get all loaded up with seed so we could just dump into him in a hurry did not work out as planned. Yeah, guess we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Corrected, I guess it's just oats. No peas. Straight alfalfa. I know. Definitely not our speediest fill up, but we're heading to the field. Should be putting seed in the ground by 3 a.m. Now we get to calibrate. So now that we've done it once, we know what we're doing. Hang bags under the rollers. Just hit the calibration button. It's going to dump out a bunch of seed. And then you weigh that seed and you can tell the computer what it actually put out versus what it thinks it put out, and that's how it calibrates itself. So pull this bag off without... I'm gonna dump it if I do that. Here. Sure.
Watch the language. Alright. Oh, it died.
.4. I'm gonna go up in the cab. Hit stop calibration. 11.4. Enter. And it spits out a cal number. 282. We do that 3 times. You can't really even see that. 3 times, write down all the numbers, take the averages, divide it out. And that's how you get your cal number. It's usually pretty good, but you can't get the scale kit for this cart, which is kind of annoying. That's like the one thing I really wanted when we upgraded air seeders, but it's what it is. You just do this every time you fill up, or every time you change seed. So we've got our 3 cal numbers, so we do 298.3. 298.3. is the cal number for oats. I do the same for alfalfa. Since it's an isobus drill, it recognizes the measurements. Sometimes it doesn't even let you change them, but I always like to put just a little bit of an overlap. It doesn't really matter for hay ground, and I'd rather see a little bit of an overlap in the skip. I don't get why the cal numbers are so close together. That doesn't seem right. But okay, we went 500 feet. Playing around with some things, but pick up some seed and see what we look like. See one row dragging something. It's pretty much impossible to find alfalfa seed. I always just look for the oat. I don't know, I think we might be going a little deep here. Okay, we got the headlands in. We ended up leaving it the same depth. I was finding actually some seeds on top still. It's kind of depending where it was planted. This field was stone picked, and they don't cultivate again after the stone picker. We just plant right into that so that the cultivator doesn't hook any more stones up. He'll come in with his big roller after, squish her flat, and it actually works really, really well. Everything up here seems to be working okay. Hopefully our calibration numbers are good. Our row blockage is not working, which is kind of annoying, but it's so dry out here that I'm not too worried about stuff plugging. It'll be a row jamming with seed more than anything, but everything's pretty low rate, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, you can really cook along. It's a nice thing about planting hay fields is it's just a controlled spill, so as long as nothing plugs up and you're not tearing your drill apart, give her heck. But I cannot figure out how to get my coverage map to map either. I've seen it before with the Pro 1200. I bet if I did it, oh, there we go. Hey now, very nice. Didn't map the outside pass, but works for me. Cool. We'll check back in with a bit. Chris is taking first shift nap in the truck. And we'll swap out and I'll take a little nap, and should be good till it rains tonight. So. Get too carried away here. I guess I should check my guest road. Leaving a bigger gap on that side, and then I noticed it was overlapping pretty aggressively on this side, so can't just trust what it thinks it is in the screen either. We're definitely going to I think I'm going to take the offset off. Front row sticks out on that side, so if the back row sticks out on the other side, I don't need an offset. No. If the front row sticks out on the other side, I don't need an offset. Got the extra row on this side. Alright, I'll play around. Yeah. Even though it's 4 in the morning, I still looking forward to be doing this and drag loading. Sitting still, got a cross-check error of that, so we're going to go into implement measurements. And I'm going to change that. Yeah, I want to override it. Let's do that. Save. Now it wants to drive 7.5 inches that way, which is too much. So, sitting still, we will do a 0 value. Save. 4 inches. I like that. I want it to be more that way to get rid of my gap. And I was overlapping when I came down the field my last pass, so we will make a round and see what it looks like. But that's how I always make sure that I'm offsetting the right way. If you sit still and you change numbers, that will tell you which way the tractor is going to want to shift over once you start moving again. I can definitely tell that it is planting that outside row on top of the last row, which is whatever. Like I said, I'd rather see an overlap than a skip, especially when you're going to look at it for the next 4 years. You won't see an overlap as much, but yeah, it's actually going not too bad. As long as you have enough oats, which is in the middle tank, for 50 acres, so that should be empty by the time we're done this field. And we're just under 20 acres in, so hopefully that works out. We have lots of alfalfa seed in. There's another 100-acre farm to do after this one. Yeah, this is pretty standard first day of planting procedure. There's quite a few years where we did frost seeding, seeding alfalfa into triticale. So that would literally be starting this time of night when it's frozen enough that it carries you, but not too frozen that you don't put the seed in the ground. And you have like a 2-3 hour window every night. And yeah, we're no stranger to firing planters up in the middle of the night. Last year we fired both the corn and the bean planter up in the middle of the night. So it's a good job for me and Chris to do. So don't really need to. You can focus on the heavier labor jobs in daylight, and getting planters going is, yeah, whatever. It can take 5 people, or you can get it done on your own. It's not like corn where we're digging every single row up. As long as it's within reason, the stuff will grow. So yeah. I do miss the pre-COVID days when pretty much every Tim Hortons was open 24 hours. A lot of variety stores were open 24 hours. Now you gotta wait till 5-6 a.m. and sometimes it's a struggle to wait till 5-6 a.m. to get coffee. Yeah. We'll carry on. Well, we got the 50 acres wrapped up. It's kind of expecting Chris to wake up. I don't know if I just carry on to the next field, or I wouldn't mind swapping out Christian. Just saying. Getting pretty snoozy. Well, we're about halfway there to the next field. Trying to stick to back roads so people don't have to guess how wide I am in the dark, but it's gonna be a tight squeeze. For those of you that have driven tricycle style air seeders down the road, or cart, you know the fear that you get when those front tires start dancing and you're going 20-25 miles an hour, maybe even a little worse. Man, oh man, do you politely start caressing that brake to a stop. You're sending stuff on the floor through the front window. It's bad when they start dancing. First time it ever happened to me, I thought I was losing a wheel. Made it to the next farm. Never planted moss ground with this drill before, so I feel like the potential for stuck or really, really plugging up the drill is here. I'm glad that the sun's coming up for that. We'll see what happens. So a few hours have passed. I was able to get a little cat nap waiting for some seed. One bone that I have to pick with case, ever since I came out with the AFS and the body module design, if there's one light bulb that just loses connection for a second, it throws the alarm. So if you're hitting enough bumps, that is just constantly going off in the corner of the screen all day. It drives you nuts. It's because of a bad right tail light. But it'll just sit there and beep at you all day. Anytime you touch the brake, it beeps at you. It's brutal. Plus, 2 AFSs with 5,000 hours on them have both gotten tail lights replaced because they rot out. This one is obviously doing the same thing at 3,400 hours. So that's my rant in the morning. That's annoying. Up. Heading home now. We got a few raindrops on the windshield even, so see what we get into next. Maybe it was worth it then. Well, we're almost back to the farm and it is still bone dry here, so I'm sure we'll be getting up to something else here today yet, but call this the end of this video. First day of planting in the books. First night of planting. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, we'll talk to you again.